What's happening? How's it going? Friday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. Starts out rainy, starts out muggy, starts out whatever. All of a sudden there's sun outside and I'm in a building not seeing the sun, but I'm here with you folks and I hope you're here with me. Thank you for joining us. It is Friday, May 21st, 2021. I'm looking at my flyer right now. It says May 21st. It is 7:31. You're listening to Ritual Madness Podcast. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Do me a favor, check out Anti-Broadcasting Incorporated, custom screen printing. If you're looking to get some screen printing work done, give my friends a call over there. I was just able to hook up the guys from Endless Rain with the Anti-Broadcasting folks. He was looking for some specific printing stuff, and Anti-Broadcasting was able to help them out. Do me a favor, hit them up at antibroadcasting@gmail.com. Ask them for a quote. Ask them to send you some materials that they're using. They've got all kinds of different shirts that they can get a hold of, stuff that you may like, the soft to the touch type of stuff, the durable stuff, the long sleeves, the short sleeves, the zip up hoodies, the pullover hoodies, all of that good stuff. I know they do some drum heads as well. Give them a call, 612-836-9488. Again, that's antibroadcasting@gmail.com. If you're looking to get some tattoo work done, do me a favor, go over to Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective. Jason Del Castillo was on the podcast a couple podcasts ago, and fantastic podcast with the Donkey Show. I'm hoping to get those guys back in here in July. We just had a good time, and a lot of people enjoyed the podcast, so thank you for watching that one. That was really fun. Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 612-353-4755, or send them an email, lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. Very good folks, and they'll take care of you. I promise you. There's some fantastic artists over there. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. It is Friday evening. I've got one more read I want to do here for you. Saturday, June 19th, 2021, 10th Annual Louis Bailey Senior Memorial Poker Run. Also a benefit for Tanner Young. A good friend of mine's son got a rare form of brain cancer last year in September. This kid just turned 18. In the prime of his damn life, and he gets diagnosed with a very rare brain cancer. Did a bunch of treatment up here, and then went down to the Mayo Clinic for a couple months and stayed down there with his mother and getting some more treatments. And the Bailey family was kind enough to use this poker run as a benefit. They do this every year. This poker run. They select a family, and they charge the riders. They usually have a free meal at the end of the ride. Very cool. There's a bunch of different stops. I'll get into all this. So it starts at the Park Place Sports Bar in St. Paul Park, Minnesota, 200 Broadway Avenue, St. Paul Park. $20 per rider. It includes one scorecard, one playing card at every stop, and there's 5 stops. Best 5-card hand wins $100. And there's also going to be a trophy for best bike of the day, which is going to be selected by Tanner and a couple of the other kids that come along on the ride. There's a lot of folks that are going to be joining us this year. We had a fantastic showing last year. The Bailey family, like I said, they select a family to benefit, and Tanner Young's family was selected, and we all went to school together, so it was like one of those things where we just wanted to help out the Young family. Registration breakfast is at 10 a.m. at Park Place Sports Bar in St. Paul Park. $20 per rider. Like I said, there's going to be a free dinner at the end, sponsored by Team Bubba Barbecue. There'll be silent auctions throughout the day at Park Place, but we're going to be raffling off things. We've got, I think, 4 or 5 different Harley Davidson stores donated a bunch of gift cards, backpacks, shirts, Dixon flannels, a bunch of friends. We've got some DeWalt coolers. We've got some Yeti coolers. We've got handmade fucking burnt cool. There's all kinds of really cool stuff. I've got a power pack that was given to us as well. This thing is amazing. It's got all kinds of like little USBs and like cigarette chargers, and it's got lights on it. It's got all this crazy shit, but it's got like a motorcycle battery in it. It's really, really cool. Stops for this deal. Kickstands are up at noon. Stops for our let me see here. The No Name Saloon, the Gaslight Bar and Grill, the Naughty Hog, Harbor Bar, and then back to the Park Place Tavern or Sports Bar in St. Paul Park for the remainder of the evening. We're going to have, like I said, the dinner and the silent auction stuff. And there's some really, really good stuff out there to auction off and to raffle off throughout this whole thing. And all proceeds go back to the Young family. So hopefully you guys can make it. Again, that is Saturday, June 19th. If you can, it starts at 10 o'clock. We take off at 12. If you got a car that you want to follow the whole ride, please do, man. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. We did it last year because, again, the Bailey family, some folks that I grew up with. So it's really cool that they do this. I know so many people that have been, their families have been, stricken with cancer. And yeah, I mean, my family, it's just... It's a horrible thing, and it's always good to support these type of things because the treatment is ridiculously expensive, and we all know all this. So please, if you can, join us. It'll be fantastic. Again, Saturday, June 19th. My guest today is Tony Lendt from Common Choir, badass drummer. Has been around a long time here in the Twin Cities, and shit, man, welcome, dude. How are you? Let's see if I can get you unmuted. You might have to unmute yourself. Wait. There we go. You there?
Yeah.
There we go. Sweet. Did you unmute it or did I unmute it?
I think I did.
Welcome, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Hey, Craig Rosen's beard checks in with us and says hello. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you on the road the other day, Craig. He drove by me and like did one of those, like looked over at me and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy staring at me and shit? So how you been, man? You're out of town right now. You got a new job. You're out of town. You're able to do the Zoom, man. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a busy guy. Fucking, you told us before the show got started, you've been working 7 days a week up in this piece, huh?
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's kind of crazy, but at the same time, after the last year and a half or something, it feels good.
Yeah,
it feels good.
So let me ask you, what were you doing before COVID?
I went back to trim trees for Right Tree Service.
Yeah.
They're contracted by XL, so
sure.
We were trimming trees away from power lines and stuff, and yeah, I think I had only been back for a couple months, and they're like, "You're gone. Everybody's gone. Hundreds of dudes get laid off, all at once." Not much you can do about it, They're like, "Just wait for your phone call. It might come tomorrow. It might come in 2021.
Yeah,
we don't know."
Yeah, that uncertainty's insane, dude. Man, I can't even imagine, dude. That's got to be tough. So now, did either you and their wife contract COVID at all? Did either one of you guys get sick at all?
No, actually, and it's statistically we probably should have.
Right.
That's the weirdest thing about it is my wife had been working the entire time. She's a postal carrier, so she worked the entire time. There was no days off there. For myself,
contract COVID at all? Sorry about that.
Oh, that's right. For myself, I kind of waited around for the phone call to see like when they were going to bring me back. And I mean, it didn't come. It literally didn't come until 2021.
Yeah.
And so I hit up Rob Carlson for a driving job because I have a CDL, and he hired me on. I was there for like the last 5 months driving truck for him and stuff. And that was awesome that he gave me a shot, man. Because, you can only sit around for so long,
Yeah.
What I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
For a phone call. So,
well, that's good that you were working, and then you were able to find this new gig and keep it rolling. I know that it's got to set you back, when you're off, you know what I mean? You just get the rug pulled out from under you. Were you on unemployment at the time before you got hooked up with Rob, or?
Yeah, I was. I mean, and they, of course, they gave people, the extra cash for a while or whatever, um, and that did help, you know. Um, but eventually that ran out, and it was like, well, I got to find something, um, and I didn't really want to like try to call in that kind of favor per se, but I eventually just messaged him and said, "Hey, man, you happen to be hiring drivers? I got a CDL," and he's like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." And dude, he hooked me up, man. It fucking kept the lights on, food on the table. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's solid. He's pretty solid when it comes to that. I know a lot of people. I worked for Rob for a little while too, and then we had probably 6 of us working there all at the same time. Guys from the music scene. So Rob's
Oh, yeah.
Rob's really good at that, man. Rob's a good dude, and he's willing to help. As long as you're good to him, man, he'll take care of you, man. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. It was very cool. Like, I mean, I've never just solely driven truck or delivered things or anything, and I probably wasn't all that great at it, but at least I did my best,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I wasn't out to screw anybody over. I was there to do exactly what I was hired to do, and and get it done. But I just happened to be, I had put my name on a work list through the union that I was in, and I had heard through some of my other friends and my stepdad that, like, hey man, they're plucking dudes off the job for other stuff at, I don't think I can really say the name of the company, but it is a very prominent power company.
Sure.
In Minnesota.
Sure.
But they were grabbing dudes saying, hey, you want to come work for us or whatever. And it just kind of happened out of the blue. So.
Well, good, man. I'm glad you're rocking it and still working. That's good, man. That's fantastic. Now, I just wanted to say, Jared Singer says, "What's up, dude?" Sean Quirium says, "Hey, what's happening?" And we've got Jason Eastman from Arizona says, "What's up?" So welcome, guys. Thank you all for tuning in and saying hello to us on the air here. Now, Tony, how long you been playing drums, bro?
Oh shit! I started when I was 17.
Okay. Now is that your first instrument? Would you just go right straight to drums and carry in lots of stuff?
That's the funniest thing about that is so like when I was 16, I worked at a grocery store, and a bunch of the dudes that were like juniors and seniors in high school that I went to school with or whatever, they had started a band, and I hung out with them. I worked with them and stuff, and they couldn't keep a bass player. So for my 16th birthday, they literally came over to my house with a bass and a practice amp and said, okay, well, being that you're already at our fucking practices constantly anyhow, learn our fucking songs. And so I started playing bass first, and then after that, about a year later, I started playing drums.
Well, that's awesome. So was like, so what made you're just like, bass wasn't the thing, or what?
No, I mean, I did enjoy it, but I had always wanted to play drums from the time I was like 7 years old. I was like, drums were the thing for me. I was into watching like, Guns N' Roses videos and shit, and I was just like, drums just seem so fucking cool to me,
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to do it.
Yeah. Rob Carlson says, I'm looking for a bass player.
Well, I actually just sold a bass because like probably like 2 years ago or something like that, I bought a bass and another amp to join a band, and they just, I don't know, they just kind of disappeared off the face of the planet, but I started learning all their songs and stuff. And when I finally came to the conclusion that it wasn't going to happen, and they were fizzled out.
Yeah.
I sold it to some dude who just got divorced, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to pick up music again. So I sold him my bass, and I don't even have one anymore.
Well, I guess that's a good thing too, man. Well, at least you're playing drums and you continue to do that. There are as many basses as there are strings. About 4 or 5 usually. Jared says there's as many bass players as there are strings on the bass. About 4 or 5 usually. In town,
Yeah, probably,
anyway.
dude. Like, fuck, I know. There's some damn good bass players in Twin Cities, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
For sure.
there's some good ones out there. So I ask this question all the time, and so what were your folks listening to when you were a kid, man? What was in the air when you were young?
It was a pretty wide variety. I'd say, like, of course, like some of the mostly classic rock and stuff like that. There was some 80s pop tunes flowing. I like, Air Supply and fucking crazy shit like that. And then like I did hear a lot of the classic rock stuff, like
Sure.
Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all that kind of stuff. And I had 2 sisters, so they were listening to all kinds of pop music and stuff like that. But I gravitated toward like hair metal and stuff at first. And
What were some of your first hair metal bands that you were listening to as a kid?
This is fucking embarrassing, but I really liked Poison, but but then I like started listening to Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses and shit like that, and then I discovered thrash metal.
What was
it was over.
What was some of your first thrash metal albums that you were listening to?
Oh shit, dude. Well, obviously Metallica. Metallica is one of the first ones I discovered, but I really latched on to like Anthrax, Megadeth, Metallica, stuff like that. Like that was the stuff that I really listened to a lot, but I really liked Anthrax a lot because they were like a pretty fun loving, band. They made fun of their shit. I'm the Man is like one of my favorite fucking albums ever,
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. I always thought that they had like a really good mix of everything. Like the music was good and heavy and fast, and their fucking vocalist was great. And yeah, so Anthrax is probably my favorite out of all of them. But
so Bobby Icon's asking me, Greg, why are you skipping the glam? I'm not skipping the glam. He just kind of brushed over it. He's like, he liked Poison, and then he went to Motley Crue, and then he went to thrash. He went over it. Are you telling me to go back and dig on the glam? So what about Poison that you like that much? What was it when you heard it that you were like, yeah, I like this shit?
Man, I really don't know. I think it was back
wild.
when you're a little kid, a little dude, you always are kind of like drawn to like these bands where they're all just like, I don't know, they're like partying dudes. They fucking always seem to get all the women, all that kind of shit, and that's what it seemed to be like to me. I don't know. Like the music was pretty cool. It had a groove. The dude had like a bazillion guitars. I don't know. I mean, like it was just all like over the top kind of shit, you know? So I got into it for a little bit until I discovered something heavier, basically.
Sure.
So,
well, that was the thing though, too, man. I mean, that's what really pulled me into the whole the glam metal thing was the partying and the fun that they looked like they were having, and all the fucking chicks, and it was like they looked like chicks. They were pulling more chicks than most other, other metalheads. It was like they were having a blast. They were partying like madmen,
absolutely.
That time is over nowadays, man. What is there, like maybe 1 or 2 Steel Panther that is even close to something like that, and they're still kind of heavy, right?
I mean, okay, so I pretty much, like, as soon as I found something heavier, I was just like, I ain't looking back. Like, nah. I just started moving on from then. I mean, there is classic songs and there is classic bands and stuff like that for that genre, but honestly, dude, if I could just erase the 80s from memory, I would fucking just be like,
oh, that's
bye.
funny. That's funny stuff right there. And then you find Anthrax. Dude, Anthrax was one of my favorites too. Not right out of the gate though. I found, Megadeth and Metallica first before I found Anthrax, but when I found Anthrax, I fucking fell in love right away. And I really enjoyed the fact that they weren't afraid to mix the rap into their stuff, you know, and the stuff they mixed into was like Public Enemy. That was one of my favorite rap groups back in the day too, you know. So I totally fell in love. Now, how do you feel about the John Bush era of Anthrax?
I did like it. I really did. I didn't mind it at all. I mean, obviously it was different.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. I did really enjoy that album, The Sound of White Noise.
Yep.
I still liked it. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah, but it's a fucking fantastic album. I really like that, and I really like I like the album when Joey came back as well. I can't think of it off the top of my head for some odd reason. I've got a million things going on right here, but yeah, I there was something about when John Bush joined Anthrax that I was just blown away. Like, man, how are you going to replace Joey Belladonna? And then he came in, and they you know, The Sound of White Noise was badass. I love that album. It's still, I still have it on my hard drive. I enjoy it thoroughly. But when Joey came back, I was like, fuck yes, this is it, man. I think,
absolutely.
I think they felt the same way too. I saw an interview with Scotty and saying the same thing, that they wanted to change the voice. You know, they thought that they could change the voice of Anthrax, and then when Joey came back, they were like, he was the voice of Anthrax, and they were so happy that he came back. You know, we were fortunate with Necromus to play with Joey Belladonna on his solo thing, him playing drums and actually singing Anthrax songs. So I thought that was badass too.
Dude, okay, so that's pretty much one of my highlights in my career as well.
Yeah.
They came to The Rock when it was The Rock in Maplewood, and my other band prior to Cymatho with some of the same members, we got to open for Joey Belladonna, and that was probably one of the coolest fucking things that I've ever done. Just get to meet him, have him sign a bunch of shit.
Dude, wasn't he cool as shit?
I couldn't find... Oh, dude, he was such a nice guy. It was unfucking believable. He sat at his own merch table, and like, just anybody in the room could walk off the street, just walk up to him and say hi, and he would fucking chill and hang out with you and talk with you. It was fucking cool.
Yeah. Jeff Rice said, "Hey Tony, were you sober enough to remember when we opened for Joey Belladonna?" Like right as you said it too. That's funny shit, man.
That's fucking rad, dude.
Let me see here. Is that Tony? Do I know you? Tyler Norkunis, I think is what it says here.
Yeah, that's one of the guitar players from Common Choir.
Hey, welcome, Tyler. Good to have you on the show here. Joining us here. Let me see here. Adam D, my boy from Forever in Gray. Adam says, Mr. Tony, 2 questions. What are you rocking on your drum set? What does he say? What are you rocking on your drum set? Like, what's your setup? Second, what band or bands brought you to metalcore?
Okay, so I'll answer in reverse order.
Okay.
I think one of the big bands that really got me into metalcore was Killswitch Engage. Alive or Just Breathing album. I mean, I was jamming with Justin at the time in our previous band before Jeff joined, and that album came out and it was just banging. So that was what really kind of got me into like the that genre music. God, that was early 2000s, 2003 or 4 or something like that, I believe. And as far as I'm guessing this is a rig question. So like the rig that I use for at our practice studio is a Pearl all birch 6-piece set, 10, 12, 14, 16, 22 by 18 on the kick, and size of the same graphic, or it's like a fucking wrap. I'm meaning to take the wrap off and like stain it a different color, but and then I also have a 5-piece pearl all maple kit. It's like I think it's called the decade kit. I used to have an all maple Prestige Session Select kit, and I traded it to buy another new kit. But that's what I practice on at home.
Nice.
All Zildjian, mostly A custom cymbals, except the Oriental China Trash 18-inch. And that's all around on both my kits. And then I usually get Remo heads, Emperor and Ambassadors, top and bottom.
So I noticed you didn't say anything about triggers.
No, I don't use them. I don't play fast enough to use those things.
Yeah. Now do you have?
I know a lot of dudes do, go ahead.
Now do you have any preference? Do you just choose not to use them, or are you against them? Do you have any gripes about triggers or anyone using them or anything?
Nah, man. I mean, I since I started playing drums, it's like the one piece of advice that always like comes back to me from anybody that I've ever talked to that plays drums is do what makes you feel comfortable, whether that be technique, whether that be what you use as far as equipment, and triggers are included there. I know that a lot of the guys that play faster use triggers, and that's fine. I mean, obviously they can still play just as fast either way. I mean, I really don't care what people want to do. I have no, I don't have any grudges against people that want to use that kind of stuff. I mean, I know Dan Copy, he uses a mix. He uses like a little bit of trigger, a little bit of actual mic sound, and his kick drums and stuff. And I mean, that's just the way it is for him, like he gets a great sound out of it. And I know like a lot of the crazier death metal dudes use triggers and stuff. Some of them don't. I mean, I guess it's whatever you want to use,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Now you're super supportive when it comes to a lot of the bands here in the Twin Cities, man. I see you at, before COVID and all that stuff, man, I would see you at all kinds of shows, hanging out, talking to other drummers. I mean, what are some of the conversations that you have with some of the drummers that you know? Do you guys talk about gear? Do you guys talk about technique? Do you guys talk about, what is it that you guys bought? Because I see there's like a group of you guys that kind of get together and chat and hang out a little bit.
Well, the first rule is we're not supposed to talk about it. And the second rule is we're not supposed to talk about it.
It's the drummer drum club.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really that much of a secret, it was a group started by Dan Copy, and it's a group you have to be invited to.
Oh, okay.
And so basically, like, there's, I mean, fucking anybody you can think of that you think is decent on drums is in this fucking group. So, and we do, prior to COVID, God, I'm so tired of fucking saying that, right. But prior to that, we would try to get together like once every month or once every 2 months or something like that, just to like hang out. Whoever could make it, we would find like a place to meet. It could be, we've met at 1459 Studios at their own location. We've met at Dan Copy's rehearsal space. We've met at the Echoes of the Fallen / fucking all the that huge room that used to be in that basement for OTM.
Yeah.
With like, I don't know how many bands are in there. Ghost Hook's probably in there. Fucking a bunch of bands we've met there for like a big get together and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, like during those meetings, we try to talk about stuff like that is either like a technique somebody's having trouble with, or, you know, for me, I just kind of look at all these dudes because most of them play crazy fucking death metal, blast beats and shit. I don't do that. So I'm just kind of like sitting back and trying to absorb everything and being like, okay, guys, I don't really do this shit, but I'll listen to what you have to say, you know?
Yeah.
But one thing that's really cool about it is that like we try to make it out to each other's shows, because drummers obviously have fuck tons of gear, right? And so it's nice to have like a couple of your other fellow drummer buddies help you get your gear on stage, get it off stage, fucking grab you a water for the set, whatever the case may be, kind of fucking calm your nerves before you play, that kind of stuff. It's a really cool group. Really cool group.
That's fantastic. I've seen you guys have pictures of each, you know what I mean? Everybody hanging out with each other. And I thought it was a fantastic idea. And I wish more, there's so much nonsense that goes on, especially before COVID. There was so much nonsense going on in our music scene, man. And to see pictures of guys getting together and helping each other out and supporting each other through the shows, you know, like you're saying, taking a little edge off of you know, before you get on stage. I think that's huge, man, to have that type of support among fellow musicians, fellow drummers, that you know what I mean? That's a huge thing, I think.
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't even know how the fuck I got invited to this group, to be honest, because like all these dudes are killer.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking, I think Taylor Hamill invited me to the group because we did a triple rock half room show with one of the bands that he was playing in. And if you're not familiar with him, he plays drums in Sunless, and he is fucking phenomenal.
Killer band.
And he's a super nice guy, and he was a tree trimmer like I was too, but he like did all these competitions and won all these competitions for tree climbing and shit. So he's like, you know, he's a god on several levels for me. But yeah, he basically invited me to the show, or invited me to the group or whatever. And there's like just so many killer dudes that play in there. Some guys put up like stuff about like, oh, try this practice, you know, try doing this in practice or whatever, or talk about gear, advice about gear, you know, all kinds of stuff. It's fucking really cool. And I wish other like groups of people, like guitar players, would try it or whatever. I don't know what it is about drummers, but we just, you know, we're in this group together. So
yeah, that's cool. I mean, you know, it's I think if you're being invited to something like that, you have to have some badassery about yourself as well. Jared Singer called you the arborist, and then later explains it like I'm half retarded. The arborist means a tree climber / tree cutter is what he said. So just to clarify, if anybody didn't know and you're part retarded like me. So let me see. We would need a stadium for all the guitar players, Jeff says.
That's probably true. But I mean, I know that there is camaraderie there too amongst guitar players and stuff like that. And you know,
some guitar players, you know what I'm saying? Some of them are just way too good. They're, you know what I mean? They're the guy who's not only screwing in the light bulb, but standing down there going, I could do that a lot faster. I kid. There could
Rob's in like fucking 20 bands.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. There could never be just a vocalist club like that, because everybody would. There'd be too many egos in the room. Their heads wouldn't all fit inside there.
Well, I don't know, man. I think vocalists get a bad rap because, I mean, why do you think I play drums? So I don't have to be like people. I hide behind my shit, you know, so people don't see me.
Yeah.
You know, I would hate to be the fucking dude right up front. That takes some real balls.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. That's just me.
You just got to be a complete idiot. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know about that, man. Vocalists are a totally different breed. Kind of like, I think drummers are kind of the same way. It's like the goalie in hockey or something, you know, like it's just somebody, a completely different type of person, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, let me see here. So I wanted to ask you about this. Who are some of your favorite drummers throughout the genres that you said? Like, you said you went from like hair metal, rock to hair metal to thrash, and now you're beyond that. Who are some of your idols as drummers?
Ooh, okay. That's a pretty easy question though. So my absolute favorite drummer is Abe Cunningham from the Deftones.
Dude's awesome.
He literally he plays for the song. He doesn't do anything too flashy, but what he does is add like little things that just add to the song in nice little ways. He's really tricky. He plays like linear beats and fucks with stuff, and he's an all around really good drummer. So he's definitely top of the list for sure. And I've definitely stolen so many fucking little tricks from that dude. It's not even funny. Aside from that, I would say Blake Richardson from Between the Buried and Me he's phenomenal. He can play anything, any style, any genre. He's just a fucking beast, and he's super clean, really powerful. And then I would say Billy Reimer, who finished off the career of Dillinger Escape Plan. He was on 3 albums. No, wait. Somebody's going to call me out on this. But he at least played on 3 of their albums, and he was like 21 years old when he came into the band, and he got a tryout because he basically like contacted them and said, I can play all your shit. And they're like, yeah, right. And then he fucking came in and just dominated and fucking played all these crazy fucking patterns. And so those are probably my top 3.
Nice. Yeah, Abe's a fantastic selection, man. That's a guy I listen to. I've been listening to a ton of Deftones since they released their new album. I kind of went back. I really love the first 3 albums. I totally enjoy the first 3 albums like to the fullest, right? And then they come out with the self-titled one, right? Is right after that, right after White Pony. This is self-titled, isn't it?
Fuck. I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
So it's
actually like the 18th anniversary of that album today.
No shit.
Yep.
I honestly, that was one of the albums where it kind of fell off for me, and I had to go back and listen to that one. But then I got into Diamond Eyes, and Diamond Eyes was like my pinnacle for Deftones, and I kind of grazed over the Yokoi one right after that. And then the Gore album, I was just kind of like, it's okay. And then I listened to the new one, and I went back and started from the self-titled and worked my way up again. And I love every single one of those albums. There isn't a bad album by the Deftones. I bought that Gore album on vinyl, and I thoroughly enjoy that album, man. That is a great, great album all the way through. I really enjoy, like you said, man, the way he accents the things that he adds to the songs that they play. I think he's a phenomenal drummer, man. Way underrated, man. And I know a lot of metal dudes that are like, they categorize them as like a new metal band. When they came out, they kind of rode that little wave with everybody, came out right around that same time. But that band is fucking phenomenal. They've always been really, really good. I don't think they have a bad album, to be honest with you.
I would agree. I mean, I'm probably biased. There is albums that I enjoyed more than others.
Sure.
Gore might be my least favorite.
Sure.
I don't think Saturday Night Wrists gets enough credit for. At the time, there was a lot of turmoil in the band, and they were all, kind of. Yeah, they were like iffy with each other and stuff. They still made a fucking album happen, and that was the first album that Abe did a drum solo or like a little drum solo in, and I was just like, holy shit, all right, cool. But I've always liked their style, whether it was like heavier. They always seem to have this like intensity to them that I've always really dug.
Yeah.
And even if it's like a slow melodic song or it's more of a driving type of song. It's always there, this intensity that they have.
Sure. I agree. I think that you know, when they did do the slower stuff, when they first started doing the slower stuff, man, I really enjoyed it. It was like another aspect of the emotions that they had. You know what I mean? Like they always had a real good wave of emotions up and down, but when they dropped it down and went real slow, you could hear the musicianship in that band. It wasn't just its dimension just totally changed for me, you know. And he has a lot of writing credit. Abe has a lot of writing credit in that band, which when I looked at some of the lyrics and so, you know, and every single song, his name is on that shit. It's not just Chino. It's not just Steven. It's you know, Abe's involved in that shit. To me, that's badass for a drummer to be involved in every aspect of creating that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. He's such a creative dude. Just like all the little tricky beats that he plays and stuff. Like you could throw tons of different styles at that guy, and I don't think he would not flinch. He would just, you know, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And he'd just start playing something, you know. I think that it was kind of shocking to me when they started doing that type of stuff. And even when they started doing like electronica type stuff, it was like, whoa, it just came out of nowhere. Like White Pony had a lot of diversity on it. And I feel like a lot of people dropped off at that point, and a lot of people jumped on at that point because it was like, well, this is a side of the band that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
And I think it was good for him, you know, like, and as far as like what you're saying for like the emotion that they had, they used to try to put all that into the same song or something, you know, like if you listen to Nosebleed, where in like the entire midsection, just like calm, the bass is holding beat and Abe's playing like an ostinato and keeping the beat going and everything like that. And just the moody shifts that they had and a lot of their music and stuff, they kind of separated it and said, okay, so we're going to like have some songs that are really heavy and intense. And then we're going to have some songs that are really mellow and chill and just kind of, they just started doing all kinds of shit. And that's why I love that band. I will always love that band. No matter what they do, they could put out like a fucking CD full of fart noises and I'd buy 10 copies of it. I wouldn't care.
I agree, man. Like I said, I went back and started from the beginning when they right before they released this last one, man. I went through all of them, and there were some that stuck out a lot more. That Yokoi one, man, I knew it had a lot of good jams on it, but man, from start to finish, man, there's no bad song on that whole album, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a fantastic one. We've got people chiming in here. We've got Adam D says, Between the Buried and Me, heavy as balls. He said Deftones is completely underrated. Also, Seven Dust completely underrated. He also said, he had a question for you. Let me see here. Listening to any new music or new bands, anything that you want to prop up or say anything about any new bands that you've heard?
Yeah. So there's two, and one's pretty obvious because I do like you know, extreme metal and stuff. So Summoning the Lich is a band that I've been listening to a lot.
Where are they from? Do you know?
I don't know where they're from, but they're like a tech death band. But they're super good. And they've put out some videos of them like actually like tracking their songs and stuff. So like, you know, they're fucking legit. You know what I mean? And then I don't know if this is like considered a guilty pleasure or not, but I don't tend to jump on the bandwagon with some type of bands because, you know, like I grew up in a time where like at one point everybody was like, this is amazing, that's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And you check it out and you're like, it ain't so fucking amazing. But I had been hearing from several people that either are in my band or friends of mine, they're like, Spirit Box, check out Spirit Box. And I was just like, fuck it. If this many people are into it, I don't want to fucking hear about it. I checked them out and they are fucking legit.
Really?
They are fucking legit.
Spirit Box? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they're a female fronted band. This chick is fucking phenomenal on vocals. Their band is fucking really cool. They do breakdown stuff too, but it's melodic stuff, clean singing, there's grinding, there's all kinds of shit. It's really fucking good. Undeniably good.
Well, now that you say that, and you've mentioned this band, and Adam's mentioned this band, and I know Shayla really likes that Between the Buried and Me. That is a band, like you said, man. So many people are like, "Oh man, I love that band. They're so great." I feel the same way sometimes. It's like you get this thing propped up, and then you go to listen to it, and it might not be the right album for you. You know what I mean? It might not just catch your ear. Maybe the one before that, or maybe the one after the one they're telling you is the best one. But that's one band for me. I have never listened to that band, but I was talking to Adam D about this other band, Falling in Reverse. Have you ever heard of that band?
I have.
They look like a full band of Nikki Sixxes. They all look like Nikki Sixx, right? But they're like punk rock metal. My daughter, my 14-year-old daughter played it, and I was like, anytime she plays something remotely close to punk rock or metal, I'm just like, I just get that cringy, like, oh, this is going to be horrible, you know? And she played it too, and I sat in the back seat, and I'm on my phone, and I like raised an eyebrow, and what the fuck is this? And I look at the thing, and it says Falling in Reverse, and I'm going, huh, okay, what is this? So I listen, and they break down into some heavy shit, and I was like, I made her push pause just to say, I'm pleasantly surprised right now. I was like, you know, so I'm going to have to check out that Between the Buried and Me, because you and a lot of other people that I honestly trust your opinions, you know what I'm saying? But it's like one of those things where you hear it so many times, you're kind of like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to waste my time, because you're going to have a different outlook, or you might critique it and someone just blows a gasket.
Oh, dude, for real. Like, as far as that band is concerned, like, I started listening to them pretty early on in the 2000s. It might have been like 2005 or something. And like, their first couple albums are just straight up like fucking death metal. I mean, they're basically death metal. And then after a couple more albums, they started showing their musicality, like what they can do as far as styles and genres that they just dip in and out of.
Yeah.
It almost unexpectedly. And I would say, like, if you're looking for an album to listen to from them, I would definitely check out Parallax Hypersleep 2. I believe that's the name of the album. They made a DVD of them playing the whole album, and it's fucking, I mean, there's so many different styles that they dive into. But that's a good one. There's good heavy shit on there. There's blast beats. There's fucking all kinds of shit. And then all of a sudden they'll like break in with like a xylophone fucking solo and shit, and tubas and woodwinds and all. And dude, it's fucking crazy what they do. And they're all just badass musicians. I mean, fucking some of the best I've ever fucking seen. And they used to kind of like mock themselves. Like on their second album, there's a song called Mordecai, where it's just brutal for like the first 3 minutes, and then like out of nowhere they break down into like a really like clean guitar melody, and they start doing some clean singing and stuff, and and they kind of make fun of themselves by saying it all makes sense, we're capable of beauty, all these things, and it's funny. And then for the rest of the CD, it's just completely fucking death metal. Like, they just kind of mock people, like, yeah, we can do this shit too, and on with it now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
it's cool.
I like that, man. I like when bands switch up like that shit, man. I appreciate the musicianship when they're able to do stuff like that. When they go completely sideways. Polyphia. Have you ever heard of that band, Polyphia? Super technical, like metal stuff.
I think I have.
I was listening to some Coheed and Cambria shit on like Spotify, and that popped up, and I was like, what the hell is this? Or what is it? Thank a Scientist, I believe they're called. You ever heard of them dudes?
I don't think so.
Yeah, check them guys out, man. Thank a Scientist.
Okay.
I believe that's what they're called. They're fucking amazing. Let me see here. Sean wanted to know, weren't you the first drummer in Nuisance?
I was.
Were you? I never knew
Yeah,
that.
it's a little known fact. I mean, this was 1998. Yeah, like the first version of Nuisance it started out in a basement in Newport, Minnesota, tiny little town in Newport.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was in the band for like a year or more, maybe 2 years. We played fucking 7th Street Entry with Smack Dab. Do you remember that band
Yes,
from
I
Iowa?
do. I love
Yeah,
those
we played
guys.
7th Street Entry with them and a couple other bands. Dim, do you remember that band?
Yep.
With Steve Wolf? Yeah, that was like I think that was like the second or third band I ever played drums in.
Badass, man. I didn't know that. That's fucking really cool, man. How
Yeah.
long were you involved with that?
Maybe only like a year and a half, 2 years or something like that. It kind of fell apart right after that. So, like, to give you a time frame reference, I'm sure you'll recognize this. So you remember Release, Revolution.
Yep.
Okay, so at some point Al left Release, and then basically Vince grabbed
Lance.
like the players, like Jeremy Dalick was on drums.
Yep.
And
Lance
and all
Sikira
those guys
playing bass. Yep. Lance Sikira playing bass.
Yeah, he gave me like my second and third tattoo ever.
Yeah,
in his house.
I've got an unfinished piece that says Chilton on the back of my neck, dude. That Lance did. Lance and I were jamming with Don, not Don Tinsley. God damn it, Tim from Cromlech and Tony from Nuisance, who's playing guitar in Nuisance right now. Me,
Tony Metz.
Yep, me and Tony. Nick, fucking A. Big Nick, what the hell? Nick Donner. Nick Donner. So it was me, Nick, Lance, Tony, and then Tim from Cromlech. So that was just something we were jamming. We were just started fucking around with in their tattoo shop in Osseo. Not much before he passed away, but yeah, kind of crazy, man. I never knew that you were part of that band. That's really cool. So what other bands in the Twin Cities have you been a part of since that time?
Ooh, fuck. Man, I'm having a hard time remembering. You put me on the spot here. Let's see. After Nuisance, I started Less Than Nothing.
Okay.
Jeff Rees and Justin Boney were in that as well, and that was probably like, oh man, 2003, 2004. And we actually, check this out. So this is actually how I first met you. We had a practice space next to you guys in Sublevel for a little while.
Yeah.
Then after that, after Less Than Nothing, I kind of dropped off for a while from like 2008 till like, oh God, I think it's like 2014 is when I started playing again regularly. I tried to get bands together or whatever. I was jammed with you guys for a bit outside the Murder.
Yep.
But nothing really like stuck or whatever the case was. Like I didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to keep on going. It was just one of those things where it's like, well, should I focus on something else? Should I focus on work or whatever the case is? My wife actually encouraged me to keep going. So, and then eventually, I joined Simothwa. And I was with those guys for like 4 years. And then Common Choir.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Yeah, and I remember you were kind of just getting back into it when you jammed with Outside the Murder, right? It was like you were back maybe a couple years, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very it wasn't very long, that's for sure. I was just like, I was talking with my wife because I run everything past my wife.
Sure.
It's like, if I ever am making a complete fucking ass of myself or a fool of myself doing this, like, hopefully she'll tell me.
Yeah.
And then I'll just be like, okay, I'm calling it quits,
Sure.
but she was like, no, man, you need to, you need to keep going. You need to keep playing. I was like, okay. So I kept going, and yeah, I mean, so here I am.
Now, seeing you play from jamming with the Outside the Murder Cats for a little while, and then going to do the Cymothwa stuff, I thought just in your playing, man, with the Cymothwa guys, and you were used to playing with those guys from previous bands and stuff like that, but it seemed like you guys locked in on a whole new level, man, when you guys got when you guys, all three of you guys got back together. I thought it was another level of playing for you, from what I saw. I thought you just straight up.
I didn't have much choice, man. I had to either fucking get good or get the fuck out.
Yeah, those guys are great players, man. They seem like they have the ability to churn out a lot of material really quick.
There was always a lot of ideas flowing and stuff, and definitely as far as like coming up with ideas of stuff to play it was challenging. I had to definitely go outside the box,
right,
for that type of stuff, so like it opened me up to a lot of different stuff. I actually, believe it or not, I had like a 3-hour drive today from job site to job site, and I actually listened to the last Cymothwa album that we did, which was Sometimes Dead Is Better.
Yeah,
I hadn't listened to it for a little while. I just had it in the glove box, and I was looking for something to listen to. It was like, boom, I'll listen to this. And dude, yeah, I mean, some of that stuff, it was just like, yeah, man, this stuff was really fucking cool. And it did not come easy to me.
Yeah.
It was hard to write drum parts for this stuff, because it wasn't always, it's not fucking 4/4 all the time,
Oh,
it's
man.
like, you got to get creative.
Yeah, they're fantastic players. Now, how did you end up coming together with the Common Choir guys?
Oh, okay. Well, that's so they had played a bigger show, and I've been a fan of theirs for a couple of years. I think, I can't remember the exact fucking year. It might have been like 2018 or 17, something like that. They did a metal soda showcase,
right, with
Mira Being and a couple other bands, and I went to it because I go to shows, and talked to some of the guys and stuff. And then a couple of years later, they had played like a bigger show at the Caboose, and they used like a fill-in guitar player because Chris couldn't. He was like out of the country on vacation or something, right?
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I jokingly walked up to like Zach and Dusty and said, hey, if you ever need a fill-in drummer, man, you just let me know. I'll fucking come and drum for you guys for a show. It would be fun. I was a fan. I liked the stuff. And I think it was not very long after that, they actually came a calling and said, hey, man, we're looking to replace our drummer. We got a whole CD demoed, pre-pro'd already. Do you want to give it a crack? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, I'll come in and check it out and see if what I do is cool and for you guys. And boom, Gravemind. That's what happened.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Now, are you guys working on new material right now? Do you guys have a bunch of material in the wings right now, or what?
Oh yeah. I was hoping to have like a full teaser video to play or whatever tonight. But yeah, we do have 2 songs that are like completely recorded. The videos have been filmed. We're waiting on the editing for those, and we're waiting on merch. So it might be like another month or something before they're completely released. But then we have 2 other ones that we're getting close to being ready to record. I know they're doing they've already done the pre-pro for it and demoing and all that stuff for 2 more songs. So like whenever I happen to pop back into town, I'll try to go in there and get my tracks done and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff that we have been working on, during the COVID thing. I think that was one of the main goals, was to, other bands were being kind of stagnant or even just like disbanding through COVID.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like one of those things where, well, this is where we can actually make some hay, we've got the time, we've got, there was lineup changes and we had the people that were driven to actually write material. And, we were all in the same canoe rowing in the same direction kind of a thing. And so that was one of the big things. It's like, let's try to get as much content out as we can, whether that be songs, videos, playthroughs, whatever. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that hasn't even been released for playthrough wise for Gravemind even yet. I know there's probably like 5 videos that haven't been released yet.
Wow.
So yeah, basically like we're not only doing stuff because I mean, literally we released Gravemind February 28th of 2020.
Wow. So
it was like fucking soon after that, we played our last show in March, like mid-March or something like that. And then the whole world was shut down. So
right.
Didn't get much opportunity to really plug that or go and play in different places or anything like that. So now, when we got back together, like in August of 2020, that was like, okay, let's do some shit. Let's do a bunch of shit. Let's do some videos, playthroughs, whatever. Let's start writing new shit. Let's start working on new shit as much as we can.
Yeah, your guys' YouTube hit stellar numbers too, not too long ago, right?
I think so. To be honest, dude, as far as technology is concerned or any apps and stuff like that, I'm pretty much a fucking caveman.
Yeah.
I don't pay too much attention to it. I share what I can on Facebook and stuff like that. But I know that we had like we hit a significant number of viewers on YouTube. So that was like a cool milestone to be part of and everything. So that's cool.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Now, I think that this is something really, really good to touch on too, as far as like being in a band and actually playing through this whole COVID thing. You know what I mean? Like like you said, a lot of bands kind of fell off. A lot of bands haven't put their time in to continue to keep playing, to keep writing, to keep coming up with new material, new videos. I mean, this is something that I think a lot of people fell short on during COVID, man. I think that a lot of people didn't put their best foot forwards, man. You could have went back and did some stuff like the 1459 guys started doing those videos where they could, the bands came in, they recorded a few songs, and to be able to release those at your leisure. I think it was a great idea to get on the horse and start riding that motherfucker through town when there was nobody around. You know what I'm saying? Like, get all your ideas in one spot, get your merch together, get everything, because eventually everything's going to open up again. And I'm really, really excited to see what bands rise to the top after this. You know what I'm saying? Because I think there's so much pent up energy of people being stuck either in the studio, not being able to play, maybe, shooting ideas back and forth between each other, the members in each other's bands and things like that. I think the real bands that come out of this thing and start shining right away, come out the gate, the proverbial gate to shoot into to the music scene and shit. I mean, how many clubs did we lose through this whole thing? You know what I mean? Through the riots, through COVID, through all of this stuff. It's going to be really, really tough for people to get shows around here because clubs are going to want to book bigger bands right away. They're not going to want to waste their time on local bands unless you're ready to, people are going to want to come up to the shows. That's, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to see shows. They're going to come out. With more people being vaccinated, there's going to be more people coming out. People are, it's starting to get warm here, man. I guarantee you there's going to be some craziness tonight in the Twin Cities. You know what I mean? Like, people get cooped up and they want to let loose and not, you know what I mean? They're starting to really, loosen up the restrictions on the masks and everything like that. So I think it's amazing that you guys continue to keep going and to hit a milestone on YouTube means that you guys were working on other aspects other than just the live show, doing playthroughs, doing things like that. That is fucking huge, dude. Not a lot of bands did that. Not at least they weren't putting it out there, or at least I wasn't seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. My opinion about it is that, man, I don't even want to know if I want to say my opinion, but I think you're right about the fact that, I think people will be able to tell which bands actually put the work in with the time that they had to do this, right?
Right.
I mean, I think that's going to be pretty evident, I know for us, we haven't even really discussed doing shows just yet.
Sure.
I think we're waiting. We are personally waiting for bigger tours to come around before we try to attach ourselves to stuff like that.
Right.
I don't quote me. I don't know exactly what the plan is, but while the only thing I do know for sure is that a bunch of people, like friends or other people, were like, well, when are you guys going to play a show? Like, you can play shows, why don't you play a show? And it's like, well, because we can't even have full capacity, right? I think for people that say that kind of stuff, it's like, they kind of act like we didn't want to play shows, and that's not the fucking case. I would love to play shows.
Right.
I mean, what all this fucking work that goes in behind the scenes that nobody sees, for the guys that are actually doing it, the payoff is playing those fucking shows. That's when you have the most fun.
Yeah.
So of course we want to do that. But we're not going to do it if it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, until the number of people that can actually attend is there, and
yeah,
we play with bands that we feel will benefit us and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, being in a band is not just being in a band. It's a fucking business, and people that don't
Right.
get that, I mean, it's hard to explain to them, because they're like, well, why don't you just drive to North Dakota and play a show? Well, fucking why would I do that?
Yeah.
Does that make any business sense at all to do that? No, it doesn't. We'll wait until we get, more of an all clear, and we can actually have like more people attending these shows. I know for us, we're looking to play with national tours, getting added on to national tours and stuff. So, and that's what we have been doing for up till COVID happened. And so that's kind of the deal there. But it's kind of funny, because everybody says that. I mean, I really hope you're right about people coming out to shows. I go to shows regardless. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I go to tons of shows. I love going to shows. If it was just regular times, no COVID, no pandemic, it would have been at least one show a weekend for sure. If there was 2 good shows during the weekend, a Friday, Saturday, I would do that. If I had to pick, on a Saturday night which show to go to, I would pick the band that I hadn't seen in a while, stuff like that. And you always, being that I know a lot of these dudes, it's fun to see them. It's fun to see them play. It's fun to hang out with them, but like, all this shit's got to happen in a certain time, and you'll be able to tell who actually put the work in and who didn't.
For sure. Yeah, they're gonna have that same material, and honestly, the stuff that happened before this COVID stuff went down in the Twin Cities, there is a lot of the cancel culture shit going on, and I think that we're gonna fall into this situation if people start jumping into venues and trying to fill these shows. I seen shows 3 months ago that were still going on, that they didn't promote, that people just got invited to these shows, and people showed up to these shows at some venues. I never found out what venues. I never even was invited to any of those shows, but I do know they happened. I did see some stuff on after the show was done, but I seen, photos taken of people, and it wasn't a huge crowd or anything, but there were bands playing on stages. But again, we could fall into that situation where people are really down on people that are going to jump into this thing right away and say that you're not thinking about the populace and not thinking about people and just really being, I guess fucking selfish and not you're not going by the regulations and trying to get things, I guess, straightened out before you're jumping into doing shows. And I think a lot of people are gun shy about that. You start seeing some of these shows, but they're not, late July or early August. I've seen some stuff. There's a couple next month that I've promoted, here and there, but it's a risky business. Not only being sick and being involved in it, but it's a risky business to be labeled by some of these folks, you know what I mean? Like really getting down on you to be even a part of any of that. So I think it really does make sense to, take the time, get, if the vaccination and everything that if you feel comfortable doing that, you should by all means, you know what I mean? And, I think it's the safest thing for everybody to just wait a little longer and see, what they do when they release restrictions a little bit more. And, who wants to play a show with 25% capacity? And when they open the shows up and when things are coming, big bands that come and bands that are have the ability to get put on these shows like Common Choir and some of the other locals, you know what I mean? You guys are going to get those opportunities because you were doing well before COVID, right? And now that you worked the entire time with your band, building the shit you released an album right before COVID. That means you still have all that material that nobody got a chance to see. You weren't able to explode on stage like you should have. You know what I mean? Like you guys in several other bands have to be, at the starting gate ready to fucking chew people's faces off, man. There's the Slain Angel says, let's see here. It separates who will survive and who will die out after COVID. The situation has changed the whole game for locals, which is absolutely true. Let me see here. He says we get 80% vaccination, and then we can start to play shows. Till then, we got to work on other ways. I agree with you, man. And he says, "Oh fuck, don't get started on the cancel business here in Minnesota. It got dumb, and I feel bad it did. I absolutely I feel the same way, bro. It's definitely a fucking downer when you have people on either side of an issue, having a pissing match, publicly and trying to pull people down and pull. And it's crazy because a lot of the people that did do this cancel culture bullshit got sucked into that whole vortex of it too. Because I don't think a lot of people are as clean as they think they are. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota has there's always somebody that'll find something on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why there's sayings like "Don't throw rocks in glass houses." Yeah. I mean, I don't know. As far as that kind of shit is concerned, I think, even prior to all that, like you had said, there was some stuff going on in the scene and stuff, and fuck, man. So, I play a genre of metal that, to some is just nothing. You know what I mean? Like, right. So some of the death metal guys or death metal fans are just like, "Oh, you fucking play metalcore. That's fucking lame, blah, blah, blah." Sure, I would have loved to see like a lot of the scene come together, but there's only so much you can do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I tried my best. I know I tried my best. And you were there many times for the Lee shows, man. And I've even had you come up and say, "Hey, dude, I came here to see this band, to hang out with you guys for a little while, but I'm going to go across town and catch this band." And I'd always appreciated that, dude. And for me, that was something that I really, really tried to do, is to spread across and to try to mix a little bit. But you fall back into that same thing too, man. It's like, people only want to play with certain other people. And then, if you ask as a consumer, man, or somebody trying to book a show, I fucking hate seeing the same 5 bands playing together all the time. One playing in St. Paul, one playing in Minneapolis, and it's the same bands. It's like, okay, these 2 are on this bill, these 3 are on this bill, and then they switch maybe 1 or 2 of them and play, 2 months down the road. I got really tired of that. And I think there's enough camaraderie around here. There's enough good people in this music scene that can spread it out. Why not play with other people? And honestly, man, metalcore to me is a mix of all kinds of stuff. Thrash metal, death metal, I just, gent a little bit. And I think that, people get too high and mighty about that shit, man. It's kind of like, the thrash metalers and the death metalers pointing at the hair bands, you know, saying fucking you guys are a bunch of posers when they get all the chicks, you know what I'm saying? But they're not you know, they're not far off from the rock and roll, you know what I mean? And if you ask me, man, I've always loved the rock and roll stuff. I've always loved the hair metal stuff, and I love the thrash metal stuff. I got into the death metal, but I listened to all of it, and I listened to fucking rap. I listened to all kinds of shit, man. I couldn't listen to thrash metal and death metal 24/7. I just couldn't do it. There's no fucking way. You throw me in some Led Zeppelin, some Black Sabbath, some fucking Fu Manchu, you throw in some Down, you throw in some fucking Public Enemy, some Eric B. and Rakim. I mean, dude, I'm all over the fucking place. You throw in Miles Davis, any of that old shit, man. I'm all over the place, man. Otis Redding, fucking Al Green. You get into War, Robin Trower, Santana. I mean, I go all over the fucking place, man. So it bums me out when I hear people say, you know, that they don't want to mix and mingle with everybody. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, man, broaden your horizons, man. Broaden this whole scope of what we do here. It doesn't matter what music you play. If you're a bunch of cool guys getting together with a bunch of cool guys and fucking screaming when you get done with a song, that's what matters. You know what I mean? Oh, those dudes aren't as heavy as those dudes over there. Fuck off with all of that shit. You know what I mean? It's so like overplayed, dude. You're not that hard. You are not sacrificing shit on stage. Go fuck yourself. Have a beer. Take a seat. Cheer on your buddy who's playing. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ship should all rise together is what I'm saying, man. And I just hate this elitist bullshit that everybody tries to put on everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the deathcore dudes don't want to play with the death metal guys and the thrash guys don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like St. Paul and Minneapolis. Completely two different scenes that it never made sense to me. It never made sense to me.
Yeah, I feel it, man. To me, any person that I know that I that is a decent musician has never said, I don't listen to this or I don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Literally, like anybody that I've ever met that I've actually listened to in the scene, they're like, oh, I fucking listen to classical. I listen to jazz. I listen to fucking old school country. I listen to fucking all this different shit. If you're a fan of music, you love playing music, how could you not fucking see all these different genres of music and look at them objectively and say, there's good fucking songs in all these fucking genres of music. I've even been guilty of it too, completely. But I've been proven wrong as well. Right?
Right.
So I'm not afraid to admit that. As far as the cancel culture shit, dude, I think like one of the organizations I was a part of was like literally the first thing to get canceled. Fucking Metal Soda got canceled because of fucking DJ.
Yeah.
You know?
And
it's like,
yeah, I get you there.
Fuck, dude. Like, he wasn't even on the fucking page. You know what I mean? Everybody like talked about it like I didn't mastermind the whole fucking thing. Dude, you're gonna sit here and fucking talk about how you think you know things went fucking down. You weren't part of this. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
You know, like all he did is once in a while post something about a tour they were doing or something, you know?
Right.
He didn't fucking run that page.
And that's that whole thing, dude. You know, that's a lot of the reason. And I'm not going to say that it was the 100% the reason, but with Lee's being closed, with all the shit going down with that, and then artists around here. I won't say any names, but there were several artists that were doing flyers around here that were shitting on other people's flyers. Like, hey, if you're going to allow somebody to do your flyer, like at least have it done professionally by me. Come and pay me to do your fucking flyer, right? Like you got all this extra money to throw around, right? So you got the artists going against other artists. You've got musicians stealing from artists, right? You've got guys like Bill Gelberg who were just trying to help out the music scene. That's it. That's all the guy was doing. The guy is an honest dude. I don't think that guy has a malicious bone in his fucking body. And I agree with you 100%, man. People shit on him, and it made me furious, man. I was just like, How dare you motherfuckers, man? Who are you to put things on this guy that he had? Dude, he doesn't have a malicious bone in his goddamn body. He didn't maliciously go, I'm going to pick this one band to do all of this cool shit. Like, that band was doing their shit, right? Did they have any kind of hand in some of the shit that he was doing? Sure. Everybody needs a fucking little helping hand to get going. You know what I mean? When you got signed on with Metal Soda, dude, I expected you guys to do so much more. And then Bill was like, I'm tired of taking the fucking boot to the throat. You know what I mean? I don't blame him, man. I don't fucking blame him at all. And this whole thing, man, it blew me away. Dude, I owe a huge apology to Tracy from Tracy Sutherland from Promodol, because I had him on months before I went on to YouTube and started doing a lot of the YouTube videos and stuff. And I ranted and raved about one of those artists and some of these people that were involved with the cancel culture shit, because it was like, it was pointed towards me and my club. They were coming after me. And I told somebody in private, the reason I stepped down from the NYDM is because I seriously, and I mean this one, I'm being recorded right now, so I'm going on record saying this, but I stepped down from the NYDM because I didn't want them to take any of the brunt of me going out and punching someone in the fucking face. And I'm not lying when I say that. I just think that it got so out of hand that it just turned me off to all of this stuff, man. To see people shit on other musicians for making a mistake that they've made 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, people borrowed art from other people to make their shit look cool. I understand that. And there are artists that need to be compensated by all of that. But the way things went down, man, it just blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. And guys like Bill Gelberg did not deserve the kind of bullshit that he had to deal with to be a part of this music scene, to help, okay, folks? To fucking help, okay? I've had people on this podcast, man, and promoted their band and watched them walk out the door and never again share their podcast that they were on. They never did it. That made me feel like half of these bands that came on here, I cared about their bands more than they fucking cared about their bands. And that's how I felt with Bill. You know what I'm saying? Bill would go to shows. He bought himself a camera. I think Dave Rabin even gave him a camera so he could do video stuff and put it on his page. You know what I mean? Good people.
I have that camera now, yes.
See, good people helping out other people, man. That's what it was about. Guys like you and I, Tony, got to see that out of Bill, and Bill trying to get a whole, you know what I mean? Like, he was kind enough to have me MC the Medis 3 years in a row. And I was fucking honored to do it, no matter how many people talk shit. I did not give a fuck what they had to say. I knew where the dude's heart was, man. I knew that he did not deserve the bullshit that went down with him, man. It was so stupid. So fucking stupid.
And also, that's the thing, too, is that being involved in it, you also knew what the scenario was, where all these other fucking people just guessed and they fucking thought they know what they're talking about, but that wasn't the fucking case, man. Like,
not only
I don't know,
not only guessed, bro, not only guessed, but they just did the la 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 la. I don't want to hear what, you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to give them, honest answers to the shit that they're talking about. Like, dude, this is what's up. This is how it goes down. No. I know that DJ had he runs the whole thing like he's a fucking puppet master and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. You guys are grabbing at straws, man. Get a fucking grip, dude. It drives me nuts, man. Drives me nuts. I honestly hope, Tony, I hope that when everybody starts coming back to do shows, man, I hope your band, the bands that truly deserve it because they worked their asses off while we had all this time to put things together, man. I hope that people come out and they, the good people come out and we take over this shit again, man, and make it right, because I honestly think that this music scene deserves much better. I think, there's a lot of great bands. There's a lot of good people in this music scene. Some of the most intelligent, helpful, good motherfuckers I've ever met in my life come from this music scene, man. And it really does tear my heart out to see people going after each other like that.
I feel you, man. I really do. It's gotten to the point where I don't even really know what to say about it anymore, because it just got to such a point where it's like, can't you guys see that we're all basically the fucking same? We're the same. We're different mice chasing after the same piece of cheese.
Right.
Whether that be like a local show at a good venue, or with a good lineup, or opening for a national act or whatever. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude, can we just drop this bullshit?
Right.
Like, for real. Like, I'm not out there fucking I don't know, man. It's just gotten so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. So hopefully you're right. Like, the lack of people like being able to see art happen, see bands play. I really do hope that like, because they were starved for it for so long, that they do come back.
Yeah.
And in droves, like, I really hope that that's the case. I don't know, just because of some of the things that have happened before. I don't know if that'll be true, but I do hope that is the case.
Yeah, for sure, man. Now say you guys get us, you get the pick of the litter, man. So if you as Common Choir wanted to come out and do your very first show, right, back, which venue would you pick, and which bands would you like to be on that bill? Just from your point of view or opinion. It doesn't even have to be like the whole, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of want to see what room you'd like to play in, what bands you'd like to jam with.
Honestly, if I had a choice on, like, not necessarily the best venue, and I know like opinions vary about this, but in order to put on a show that had the most bang for your buck and had the ability to put on the most bands in the same place at the same time, I would say the Caboose during the summer, because the last show that we played at the Caboose, they actually like built like a decent sized outdoor stage. And so like the nationals were playing inside, the locals were playing outside and stuff like that. So you got so many bands playing,
Yeah. Plus that patio is fantastic, and you got motorcycles coming up and people hanging out in the patio. That's a great spot, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just undeniably good. It's especially for like, the post-COVID world or whatever, like being outside. I think that's going to be kind of where it's at for a little while, if anything. Having the ability to play outdoor shows and keep your distance if you want, or whatever the case might be. Fuck, as far as some of the bands that I would personally like to play with, I think one of them for surely, I know we dude, when COVID hit, all of our shows got just fucking nixed. We had some fucking killer shows planned for, that spring or whatever. And they just all went to shit. I would definitely say I would like a rebate on some of the shows that we did. So we had a show that we were going to play with Reaping as Medea.
Yep, killer band.
And Mirror of Being, we were supposed to play their CD release party. I would love to fucking do a show with those guys on the bill. Beast Face, they were working on a new album, and I love those guys. They're fucking really good dudes, really good musicians. Inflict, they're some younger dudes, and some of the members have been in different bands that have done well, like Druid and stuff like that. But like they're really good, really energetic, stuff like that. I would love to fucking do a show with Coffin Rights, Isalik, Simothwa. I would love to fucking just play a show with those guys on the bill again, because it would be fucking fun. I've always been a fan. I was a fan of theirs when I wasn't in the band. When I was in the band, it doesn't matter. fucking Brad is a badass fucking drummer, dude. I mean, and his style actually fits like stuff that they're doing right now a lot better. I got a chance to like hear some of the stuff that they're doing because literally they recorded around the corner from our room, you know, and got to hear some of the stuff, some of his takes, and it was fucking amazing. So, I mean, there's just tons of bands I would love to play with. I know on the death metal side, Glutton for Punishment for sure. Get some Semtex in there. Fuck, dude, I could probably go on and on. If it was like a dream show, you know what I mean? Like 20 bands.
Keep the dream. Yep. Keep the dream alive, dude. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Just bands that I really like seeing play live, you know, that are really proficient at what they do when they play. Yeah. And, you know, those are the type of bands that I really like watching live.
Now, if you were to give anybody advice as far as like setting up or getting their merchandise together, what would you suggest someone to do if they were trying to get their merchandise stuff together?
Oh shit, that might be a better question for Zach because I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know. What I've noticed over the years is like you just got to have a wide variety of stuff and like plan for the season. If it's fucking summer, you get your gym shorts and your fucking sweat bands and your fucking bottle openers and shit that you can use during the summer a lot, you know? Yeah. In the winter, beanies, hoodies, fall and spring windbreakers, you know, you just kind of fucking play to what you think you can sell at the time and
play the retail game.
Just fucking, you know, play it to the seasons, you know, like just sell people what they're gonna fucking buy anyhow, and it's gonna have your logo on it.
Now, what kind of merch do you like to see when it comes to like how many designs do you like to see when it comes to a band that you're enjoying? Like, say you want to go, like, how many designs would you recommend a starting band to get involved in?
I mean, at least a couple. I mean, who doesn't have 200 black metal t-shirts in their fucking closet, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I got like, you know, 3 drawers worth of fucking metal t-shirts, mostly black. Right. You know, I'm wearing one of my 1,000 black t-shirts right now. Yeah. But I think colorful things are really good. I think you understand that with doing the tie-dye. You're just like, yeah, fuck yeah, people like colorful shit, you know? It works.
You know what's funny though, man, is like with the tie-dye stuff, you know, I loved it in high school. I wore it all the fucking time. I loved tie-dye shit. It was always like blues and greens and blacks, and it was always something. It wasn't all, you know, like reds and oranges and shit. There wasn't a ton of like bombastic colors, you know. But when I started doing it, I was just like, man, it was pleasing to my eye. That's the reason why I did it. It was like these colors work really well together and they feel good when I use them. You know what I mean? That was the thing. But I've changed my wardrobe up, man, in the last, you know, from COVID till now. Like I've got a black t-shirt on now, but you know, through the fall, winter and fall, man, I had like tie-dyes on, or I had fucking nice flannels on, or you know what I mean? But beyond that, dude, I mean, my summer shit is like, you know, camouflage shorts, black shirts, you know what I mean? Like the shit you shouldn't be wearing when the sun's beating down on you, but we all do it, you know what I mean? Yeah. The tie-dye thing, man, I've just fallen in love with the shit again, man. I normally don't like all that color, man, but I mean, this thing behind me, I love that shit. It's just, you know, it's fun to do. It's fun to make. It's fun to, I think Gene Vogel said it, you know, when we're all back doing shows, it's going to look like fucking Woodstock. Because so many people picked up tie-dyes, you know, but it's a blast.
Oh, dude, I'm picking my one. I'm trying to figure out like a good color combination. Because I'll be honest, tie-dye's not totally my thing, but you're fucking killing it, dude. You're doing some really cool shit.
Thanks, man.
And not only that, but it kind of like, I think that, I don't know if that was something that like brought you back into the world. You know, I know that for a while there you had some stuff going on, and you know, a lot of people did and stuff too, but it was like one of the things that got you back out there, you know, and now you're doing a podcast on a regular basis. So it's fucking cool as hell, dude.
Thanks, man. You know, you were one of the people that kind of checked in on me too, you know, after the whole Lee's thing went down, and I appreciate that, dude, so much. Adam D's another guy that checked in on me. There was, you know, Chris Rosling, he'd check in on me. There was a lot of people in the music scene, you know, just wondering what the hell was going on with me. And, you know, I kind of touched on it, you know, when we were talking about the metal soda thing. I just felt so bad because a lot of people were being attacked, and it just, you know what I mean? You had the political environment going on, either whether you were on one side or the other, which I really didn't give a shit whether you were. If we were friends, I would never judge you for your political candidate and who you know, because you've always been good to me, and I know that if you're around me, you're going to be good to the people that are around me, you know what I mean? You're not going to be malicious, and if you are, I'm not going to tolerate it, and I'm not going to, you know what I mean? It's just kind of, you know, dude, it was the environment. It really, really was, and sometimes you just need to, you know, disconnect from all of it, and that's pretty much what it was. I was trying to figure out, you know, what it is I want, you know, man, because I want to play in a band again. I really would love to sing again. I'd like to do it with the right folks, and I'd like to just have fun doing it, and you know, maybe play as many shows as I can, man, as many, you know, I'm getting up there in age too, bro, you know what I'm saying? So I think with the tie-dye stuff,
me too.
I think with the tie-dye stuff, man, it just, it was another outlet to be creative, you know, and, I have to give it to Jared Singer, you know, I mean, to Jared, you know, Cantor. He kind of pulled me back in, man, you know, he kind of, he brought me on his show, and, you know, he kind of, I mean, I had been starting to collect more gear to make the video stuff possible, because I really liked that aspect of it. One thing I miss about doing the podcast the way I did before is that I don't have any music involved in it, because it's video and because you can be pulled down or flagged. And that's going to be an option to people that I book, you know, here coming up in the next few months, is to do that old style where we can play your music and play stuff that is just you know, just the audio version of it, because I think it gives people more of a gist. Like, we could talk about the bands that we really like, but if we played a couple and then came back and talked about why we got into them and things like that, it just adds that much more of an aspect to the podcast. I guess, man, it did help me just to kind of keep the creativity flowing a bit more. Jared kind of pulled me in. He kind of hit me into some of the video things that he was doing, and I adjusted it. I'm one of those guys that, like, I can find a path, or someone can show me the path, but then I got to kind of do it on my own. So being back in it is amazing for me. It feels great, man. It feels good to have conversations with people I care about, you know, musicians and artists, and it's part of that creativity, man, that I need in my life. I have to have it. I you know, honestly, dude, with the Lee's thing going down, and I had no control over that, and that was probably the hardest part about it. And then, you know, Outside the Murder was very close to having an EP or a full length done. I think we had 5 or 6 songs ready to go, and I backed away from all of it, man, because of everything that was going on, the cancel culture shit. You know, guys like Bill being fucking, you know, picked on over this bullshit, COVID happening. I mean, there was so much stuff going on, man, that I just had to throw my hands up and go, I can no longer be a positive outlet. I can no longer be positive in my outlet or my media level where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to come on here and just start bitching about everything and, you know, trying to, because I really have tried with this podcast to make it even ground for everyone. If you have problems with someone, keep that shit off my show. I don't want anybody arguing over it. I don't want people to come on the chat rooms and talk shit. And nobody has, luckily, yet, you know. It's always an option when you're doing a live show that people come on and they talk shit to other people, and that stuff really bothers me, man. I don't want to have anything to do with any of that, man. You know, I want people to thrive and do well, and I hope that people do well, man. If you come on the show, I'm promoting what you're doing. I believe in what you do. I believe in the support. You've shown me support, you know, and so many people have, and I try to give that back, and I feel now, man, and I think you're right. You know, it could have been the tie-dye stuff too, but I think it's just the right time, man. I needed to clear my head and get back into it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did. I really am. Like, I think it was needed. I also understand like why you would want to step away from it for a while. You know, if you can't, I mean, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Basically, bottom line.
I wish everybody believed that. You know.
Yeah. Common sense isn't so common. No. You know, it's one of those things. But I mean, I'm glad you're back, dude. This is fucking cool. I'm glad you're like, you know, actually enjoying doing it and things. And I'm glad that, you know, if there was like some shitty times in your life that, you know, it's behind you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, dude, I mean, who the fuck, what kind of person wouldn't think that way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I know for a fact that there's tons of people out there that literally, like, the last year and a half, it's been their own personal living hell.
Yeah.
You know, I'm no exception.
Yeah.
And I would not compare my situation to somebody else's situation either. You know, like, everybody was going through their shit.
Right.
Everybody had problems, you know, regardless. And fuck, man, if anything, I really hope that, like, people just start being fucking good to each other and be fucking decent human beings after all this shit. Because, I mean, if this doesn't show you what real bad times can be like, then I don't know. There's no fucking hope for you.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with you, man. It's got to soften you up a lot. I mean, you know, when all this stuff was going on, man, I was pulling away from everyone and not really going out or going to many shows. And when I did, it fucking hurt, man. It felt like I needed to be a part of it again. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was missing something. And at the same time, man, when COVID hit, dude, I was already in my shell, like trying to regain my strength again, man, like to how to navigate through all of the nonsense and people attacking each other left and right over politics. And I mean, I get it, man, having a cause and having what you believe in, like that gives a lot of people strength, man. But tearing other people down to make yourself feel better or your cause that much better, man, it doesn't make sense to me. It never did. And, you're right, man. I miss seeing all the guys at these shows, man. I miss the hugs and handshakes and the beers and just shooting the shit, man. And you know, it really speaks volumes about people, man, when you come back out and you realize, like, fuck, man, we did miss all this stuff, man. We had such a good thing going, man. And I've been in this music scene long enough to see it come and go and the ebbs and flows of everything, and it never ever gets easy to see people go after each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate it so fucking much, man. And it's like, I just want everybody to be, you know, to be good and to be good to each other, man, and support each other's stuff, because we're all in this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what more can you say, dude? We've been stuck in our houses for the last year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, you know.
For sure.
You know, and we're working through it all, man. You know, I mean, like you alluded to your wife before, working through all of this, and then, you know, you being in between jobs and just kind of in that limbo, man. Oh, dude, when I got COVID and I wasn't able to leave, you know, before I got it, I went on a motorcycle ride. I stayed away from everybody. I was around like a certain group of people. I went to work. I worked through the entire pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And I get COVID. I get stuck in the house for, I think I had it 16 days. I felt horrible. And I went to the hospital once. I had multiple people that I know die from the shit, or at least, you know, they marked it as that, you know what I mean? But dude, once the finger was on the tail, man, I started panicking. I started freaking the fuck out. Like, okay, I was already kind of disconnected now you're forcing me to disconnect. Holy shit. You know what I mean? It was too much, man.
Yeah. I mean, oh shit. God, I mean, I'm sure we could talk for hours about it, because I know, I mean, all the people that we know, or our own personal experiences and stuff. And I mean, for me, shit, I could write a fucking book, man. Like, literally, just But I know the one thing that I always like try to think about is I know that regardless of whatever my situation happened to be, like there was people out there that probably went through a lot fucking worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they lost their fucking house or whatever, or, you know, just all kinds of other crazy shit. I don't want to like play the game of like who had the worst experience. It's just like,
yeah,
you got to look at the big picture and be like, man, everybody was fucking going through some shit.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, the people that made it through it, awesome. You know, what more can you say? But, and it sucks. I think I know only maybe a couple people that died from it or know of.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still fucking crazy. I didn't know many people that actually got it. Luckily, you know,
yeah,
it's not one of those things where it's like, I don't know anybody that got it. It's not like that. It's luckily people I know didn't get it.
Yeah.
I somehow made it through without getting it. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Statistically, I probably should have had it like 3 times, but you know, I don't know. It's like it should be an eye-opening experience.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. And I hope, you know, if we can get back to our regular scheduled shows and you know, open it up a little bit. And you know, like I've seen other people talking about 80% of the area has to be vaccinated before they can really do anything or open things up to full capacity and whatnot. And I think we're slowly inching our way. I think I seen something like 1.8 million people are being vaccinated a day. So that's good shit, man. You know, hopefully we can get things squared away and back in business, man. I am ready for some live shows. I know that there's some good ones coming up too, man. I know that are you going to do that Deftones show if you can get it over at the
I've had my tickets since like the fucking morning they went on sale.
Yeah.
I mean, now I just want to make it like, if it actually comes to town, I want to make it like the biggest deal possible.
Yeah.
I want to get like a VIP box and get stuff like 20 fucking friends in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And have our own waitress and catering and shit. Like, just be like,
totally, you know, break it down. Yeah.
Just make it a fucking big deal because I've been waiting for that shit to come.
Right.
You know, aside from actually getting to play a actual show myself, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take going to a show. That's cool too.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Do you have any concert tickets for any other acts that'll be coming through or what? That you can think of?
Like, I think at that point everything had been shut down. Like I had just bought the tickets and they were released in a, you know, at the time I got them right away, and then slowly everything started just getting canceled. You know, I'm sure like there would probably be a bunch of them I'd like to go to. You know, honestly, I'll say this: like national acts, I don't go to hardly any national act shows. I go to local shows.
Yeah,
I mean, those are the people that you can actually like sit and talk to and pick their brain.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or just hang out with and have a beer.
Yeah.
You know, I guess to me that's more important. You know, all these other big bands that come through. Yeah. Like, sure. I'm not into the big, like all day festival kind of shit. Cause I'm old. I don't like standing around too long, you know, all that shit.
Yeah.
But,
I hear you, dude. There's a lot of them coming up to that Riot Fest or whatever in Chicago. God, there's a bunch of festivals that are still going this year. I know the Death Metal Fest in the Slam Dakota Fest is coming in July, and then full throttle or no full. What the hell is it? I've got it on my page too.
It's probably Full Throttle. I guarantee you.
No, what the hell is it? Ah, damn it! I got to get to the bottom here. Oh, Full Terror Assault. It's got Exodus, Misery Index, MOD, Weed Eater, Internal Bleeding, Black Tusk, Worm. Fuck, there's a ton of bands I can't read their logos. But yeah, there's a bunch, man. Yeah, Stick Piles. Got a bunch of Stick Piles.
that Slam Dakota Fest, dude. I think the best I can expect is like hopefully I get like shot out there for work and then just somehow like show up.
Yeah.
Just after works, boom. I'm here in town. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that'd be a lucky one right there, man, for sure. To get shot out that way, hell yeah. So what? Now you said you guys got a video coming out pretty soon, correct?
Yeah, we actually like spent a whole day filming 2 videos.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a long day. It was a long day.
Who's producing those bad boys?
Austin Schwersberg.
Nice. Have you worked?
Yeah,
with,
we use him for everything, like
okay.
literally.
Okay.
So
sweet. That was my question. I was going to be like, have you worked with him before? But if he's part of the team, man, that's awesome. When you find the right guy to work with that shit, that's great.
Yeah, he's like a super chill dude. He's invested in the equipment. He's got the best fucking equipment around. You just can't front on it. He's got ideas about concepts and stuff like that. And it's just since I've been in this band, that's just the guy we go to.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that in like the next month a new song comes out. I wish we were supposed to have like a promo video ready to go for tonight, and I was hoping that was going to happen, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Obviously, they're talking maybe Monday.
I was excited because I thought when you said, "Oh, we might have something together," I can't promise you anything, but we might have something together. I was like, "Oh yeah, that would be great, dude!" Just to have a little teaser for everybody. But hey, man, that's how things are. You can't rush perfection, sir.
It's like the teaser of all teasers. It's like when you're right at the edge and you're about to push in. It's like such a fucking tease. It's not even right, dude.
You're right at the edge and you're about to push in. That's a fantastic analogy.
It's such a horrible tease. Because obviously I've been playing this fucking song for months now, and the first song that we were gonna release. I don't know if I could be more proud of a song that we put together. It's got tons of different elements. It just got all kinds of cool shit. It's got a killer breakdown. You just want to punch people in the face too. The video looks fucking sick so far, like from what I've seen. The only reason we didn't have, this is the funniest part. The only reason we didn't have it together, I think, is because it was called, we have working titles for our songs, right?
Right.
And it doesn't always stay that way, depending like how the lyrics pan out or whatever, right? But like on the promo, it still said the working title and not the actual title.
Oh, I
think that was the one thing that was just like, nope, can't use it. Like we gotta wait until it's done. No.
When you get the tags with the song of the working title as you're mastering it, and then they send it to you, and the label itself says something, but then when you import it into another, like a player or something, and it pulls up I've had people send me, their demo stuff. I get the files, I put them into the computer, and the computer reads them as the working name. And you're about to play that song, and you're like, "No, I can't play it. They don't want, it's the wrong name, It's fucking
right.
The ba-dump song." Hell yeah, man.
I'll actually send you them. I don't care. I mean, it's so close. Like dude, I'm so fucking anxious to see like this stuff actually come out. It's just some of the coolest stuff I've been able to be involved with. So I'm super psyched to. I know everybody fucking says that, blah blah blah. It's cliche, but like it's these first couple songs that we recorded are like really fucking cool. They're very dynamic. They're not even, I don't even know if they really sound like metalcore a lot. Some of the things in them doesn't sound like metalcore at all.
Sure.
At times, and I'm just stoked.
Well, you
I
you
just want him
should
to
be,
come out.
dude. I know if you like I said, man, and we've said this throughout the podcast. I mean, when you work on stuff that you can't release to people, man, and you're playing it and you're learning it and it feels really good and you're excited about it, man. When you guys come out of the gate, dude, I think you're gonna be one of the forerunners, man, because you know what I mean. I'm excited to see it, man, because I want to see who comes out with their guns blazing, because if you're a musician and you weren't able to get on that stage, man, you've got some pent up shit. And if you weren't using that energy, you're really selling yourself short on that shit, man, And it's
Yeah,
not,
you
I
gotta
mean,
deliver.
just by the way you're talking about it, man, you can feel the passion in you. I can tell that, you're stoked and ready to go for it. So I'm excited for it too. And I know anybody who's watching is fucking play some of that shit,
Okay, so the only thing that we did actually released was like this little God, I don't even know what to fucking call it, meme, whatever. It's using the Mandalorian and the child,
Yeah.
or whatever, where he's like turning something on and you hear like little clips of the song.
Yeah.
And then he keeps turning it on. Like that's the only thing that we actually like officially released today.
Yeah.
So the teaser will hopefully be soon to follow, where you can at least hear 20 seconds of the song or something and see some footage.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, in my opinion, like both of those things, I just want the full fucking thing. I just want it to come out. I want everybody to hear this fucking song.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Hell yeah. So where can people get your material? The past what did you call it? Grave what is it? Grave
Mine?
Grave Mine. That's what you released in 2020, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where can people get a hold of that one?
At literally any streaming service you can find it.
Awesome.
YouTube, Facebook. I mean, there was like a bunch of drum playthroughs that I did that got put out. So anybody can check that out. I know we did like a bunch of like build up to that too. So there's all kinds of clips people can listen to, or little videos. Everybody has a pretty good sense of humor in the band. So there's all kinds of like funny little fucking, everybody took like this video and like put their music to it and, had fun with it. So there's just, Facebook, anything, Instagram,
all that
anything.
Shit. Hell yeah. Common Choir,
everything.
Yeah. Common Choir, everything. Make sure you look them up. Dude, I appreciate you taking the time. I know that you're working 7 days a week, busting your ass, trying to get back up on top of things, man. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me, man, and have a beer and chat about the scene and about playing drums and about your super secret fight club. I appreciate it, man. You're always a class act, dude, and I appreciate you very much, dude. And I love running into you. I love talking to you, Tony, and thank you very much for coming on, man.
Oh, well, thanks for having me, man. I'm really glad that you're back up and running for sure. Like it's like a weekly outlet, you get to tune in and check out the show, and I don't always get to listen to all of them, but I mean, now that I'm actually on the road, and it's like, well, fucking, I'm going to be sitting here Friday nights, in my hotel room.
Yeah, man, join us.
The show.
Yeah, join us, man. Chime in. There's a lot of people chiming in tonight. I've like on YouTube. Here's the thing: is I use this restream thing where I hit 3 different servers all at one time, but you have to pay for it. So when the Facebook stuff clicks over, I don't get to see the comments. So I have my Facebook open, but with Facebook, they mix your comments up. So I can't see all the comments of people commenting on Facebook, which really sucks, because we've like gone to 12 people watching, down to 3, down to up to 6, back and forth. So it's fluctuated, people coming by and saying what's up. And you'll have to go by and look at some of the comments on Facebook, because there's a lot of people that I didn't get a chance to say what's up. But like I said, man, it's always a pleasure chatting with you, dude. And I'm really looking forward to the Common Choir stuff when you guys release it. I really want to check that stuff out. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that Gravemind stuff as well, because I wasn't even aware that you guys released anything in 2020. I thought, you were one of the folks that got cut off at the knees, right when you're ready to, set it up. I'm hoping, man, that bands did what we talked about, man, and worked on their craft and really, prepared for this release. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again, man. Work your ass off, man. Get squared away, get back to town, and hopefully we'll see you at a show here.
Oh, you'll see me at a show. That's a fucking promise.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, hang on a second here, buddy. I'm gonna close everything down and then we'll chat afterwards. All right.
All right.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. Do me a favor, if you can, go over to ritualmadnesspodcast.com. If you are wanting to check out any of our past episodes, we've got 229 episodes. The last episode that I did with John Suffering is up and ready for you to take a listen to. This one will be up on YouTube right away. So you can go back and take a look at it. If you didn't get a chance to see it from the beginning, we did touch on some really cool stuff, and it's always great to talk to Tony. Tony's a fantastic guy, and make sure you check out Common Choir. They've got a lot of stuff. I know they hit record numbers on their YouTube channel. Go check them out. Tony said they had a ton of playthroughs and things like that. So go check them out. Give them a listen on any of the streaming sites. You can listen to their stuff. Go support their stuff. Buy some material. Buy some T-shirts. Support these local bands, man, because when they come out, I guarantee you, just talking to Tony, man, you can tell the excitement in his voice. And getting back out on stage is something that all these musicians want to do. And hopefully they did their due diligence and worked on their craft through this whole time. There's a lot of time to work on the stuff, man, and it's really important to do that stuff. I fucking wish I would have done it more as a vocalist. But do me a favor, if you get a chance, if you're looking to get some merch down, check into Anti-Broadcasting Incorporated Custom Screen Printing, antibroadcasting@gmail.com. Give them a call, 612-836-9488. You got a tattoo shop, if you got a family reunion, if you're looking to get some merch done, I'm telling you, get a hold of these guys. Look them up on Facebook. Hit them up on their email address. Give them a call. Get some quotes. I'm telling you, they've got all kinds of merchandise that they can do. Anything that Tony was talking about, the zip-up hoodies, the windbreakers, the pullover hoodies, the shorts, the tank tops, all of that shit. Anti-Broadcasting will screen print on that shit, and they are fantastic. They got fast turnarounds. They got great materials. They work with fantastic materials. So hit them up, antibroadcasting@gmail.com, 612-836-9488. Good folks. Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective. I know that summer's coming, man. And here's my thing. Anytime that I get tattooed, the winter is when you want to get tattooed. The summer's when you want to show it off a little bit, right? Well, hey, guess what? You can go to Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, get tattooed, tell them I sent you. They'll probably charge you a little bit more. Nah, they'll give you a smack on the ass. Say good supporting your boy. Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 612-353-4755. Shoot them an email, get a quote. Send them over your art. Have them draw something up for you. lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. Good folks, they always help us out when it comes to any kind of benefits, man. They always donate. They're always good people, man. I've known Jason a long, long time, and he's taken care of me, taken care of many other benefits. The guy's got a giant heart, man. And don't forget, June 19th, Saturday, June 19th, the 10th annual Louis Bailey Memorial Poker Run, starting at St. Paul Park at the Park Place Sports Bar. $20 per rider, includes the scorecard, a playing card at all 5 stops. Best 5 card hand gets $100 flat out, man. You get $100. Best trophy for best bike. There's going to be Team Bubba barbecue afterwards at the last stop, which is back at Park Place in St. Paul Park. It is a benefit for Tanner Young. This young man is 18 years old, man. He's just graduating high school. His graduation party is in like a week and a half. This kid has gone through hell, man. Got fucking cancer, rare brain cancer, 18. This kid needs our help, man. So if you guys can come and support this show or this poker run, We've got silent auctions. We got things to raffle off. I know that Lowbrow Saints is one of the sponsors of it. Ritual Madness Podcast, Team Bubba Barbecue, Lucky 7 custom motorcycles, and they're going to be bringing motorcycles up from Texas and over from Milwaukee as well. They've got fantastic audio equipment on their motorcycles, and I'm telling you, these guys are fucking unbelievable, man. These stereos that they have on these baggers, man, will make your ears bleed. So you got to come check this shit out. Those bikes aren't allowed to be in the best bike category either. So you got a chance. Come on, get some. It's going to be fun, man. I can't wait for this poker run. It is again Saturday, June 19th. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us tonight. Thank you very much for taking the time to subscribe and like all of our social media stuff. I think we hit 227 yesterday for subscriptions on our YouTube channel, which seems like a drop in a bucket for a lot of people. I know guys in the music scene that have way more likes and subscriptions on their stuff, and I'm not trying to compete. I don't give a fuck, honestly. I would like to make money off of doing this stuff and just do this to bring cool stuff to you guys. I think I'm going to be doing some old school podcasting with music. I'm going to bring that stuff back. I'm going to make it an option for other podcasts that we got coming up. I've got a bunch of stuff booked, folks. Great guests, some old ones, some new ones. I'm going to try to get the Donkey Show to be something like every other month. Matt and Jason Del Castillo, Matt Wolford and Jason Del Castillo. We did one 2 podcasts ago. You guys got to go watch it. You'll laugh your ass off. These guys were cracking me up the whole time. And, yeah, it was a blast. So thank you guys very much for supporting the show. Thank you for joining us every Friday. Thank you for chatting with me and keeping the ball rolling here. Thanks to Tony for doing the podcast tonight. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday. It's supposed to be really nice. Enjoy your weekend, folks. We'll see you next Friday. Have a good night.
Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast.